Hi, I'm Christy Rost, and I have the supreme pleasure of cooking in the Cave at the Jean-Charles Boisset Maison. I am in Burgundy, France. I am in the town of Côte de Nuit, and I don't know anyone else who has been able to come to this Cave and actually cook. It's an incredible place. Gorgeous wines dating from the 1800s. This is a very old wine establishment, and the house of Boisset has so many beautiful, beautiful wines that I have seen today throughout Burgundy, starting in Beaune and now in Côte de Nuit. I have been asked to if I wish to cook while I'm here, and I said, of course, I always love to cook, and when I get to cook with wine, it's even better. And of course, today I am cooking with a wine from the house of Boisset. So I'm making a very, very simple recipe. It is just a lovely little sauteed chicken. To make it quick, we actually took chicken breast, sliced it first, and I seasoned it with salt and pepper. Again, very simple, très simple, as we say here in France. And I am sauteing it over a medium-high heat to get really good browning. And I am going to have all these beautiful little brown bits on the bottom of the pan. That's what creates the flavor for the sauce that I will make. This is the type of recipe that I would make at home and have many times, whether I'm home in Dallas or home in Colorado. This is a meal that Randy and I would enjoy on an evening, maybe a very busy day, because it is so quick but very flavorful. And yet at the same time, it is so beautiful. It is a dish that you can make to serve your guests. And your guests will rave about it. They will think that they are eating in a fine restaurant. But you know, simple cooking that is just full of flavor but doesn't take long, that is the cooking of Burgundy. Randy and I are staying with our friends Olivier and Agnès Goire in Dijon. And last night, I had the pleasure with Randy of having an incredible meal that Olivier prepared with a soft-cooked egg and then fabulous champignons, mushrooms, and red wine, and great flavors. And with little bits of crusty French bread. It was incredible. It's something I'll be making in the future. So you see already this chicken is just about finished. See how it's nice and brown on both sides? So I'm going to remove this to my plate so that I can continue on with this incredibly flavorful recipe. A simple sauteed chicken with capers, white wine, and some garlic. It's pretty, it's quick. It's one of my favorites. So I just transfer my chicken, and you know, if you prefer to have your chicken breast in just whole pieces, that's fine too. But I'm going for something extremely quick and easy, so I just slice my chicken to begin. So I take this from the plate. Look how pretty this is. It's important that the chicken have this beautiful brown glaze so that I have all this great flavor in the bottom of the pan. So I'll set that aside. I'm going to reduce my heat just a little bit. There we go. And then to this, I'm going to add some garlic. So I add my garlic, and I only need to saute it for, just a few brief seconds. Just until you can smell the fragrance of it. And it takes no time at all, and it just kind of picks up a little of the color and the flavor from the brown bits of the chicken. And then I'm going to deglaze the pan with some white wine. In this case, I have this beautiful Boisset white wine. That's the fun part, okay? And I just swirl it around. Notice the color. It already has taken all those brown bits off the bottom of the pan. And then I add an equal amount of chicken stock, or you can use chicken broth. So if you have a half cup of white wine, use a half cup of chicken broth. If you have a cup of white wine, you use a full cup of chicken broth. Now I'm going to raise my heat again because I want to get this to a quick boil, and then I will reduce it by half. And the reason I'm reducing it is as the liquid begins to evaporate and you get a smaller amount of liquid, you are increasing the flavor because the flavor is concentrating. And that's why I don't add my salt and pepper yet, because if you add the salt now, it will concentrate the salt in your sauce. It'll be way too much. So we just get this reduced by about half. It only takes about a minute or two because I'm not using a tremendous amount of liquid here, and I'm using a fairly high heat. And then when that is reduced, then I add in some capers, and if you like, you can add in some artichokes, little artichoke hearts that I like to cut mine in half and just heat these up. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Again, very quick, very easy, extremely flavorful, beautiful color. You see already much of my liquid is gone. And as it reduces, also kind of thickens that up. Now, some people think you should add butter to the sauce, but it really isn't necessary. There's so much flavor in here already. Why add the extra fat? So I don't even bother with that, okay? At this point, this is reduced quite a bit. I'm lowering my heat, and now I'm going to season my sauce with just a little bit of coarse salt, some freshly ground pepper. This smells so flavorful. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. And here we are. My sauce is finished. I have my chicken here, and I'm just going to move this out of the way. I can turn off my heat and pour this right over the chicken. This is beautiful French cooking, très simple, très délicieux. I decorate it with a little bit, just a little garnish of fresh parsley. And c'est tout. From the house of Boisset, Jean-Charles Boisset, I'm Christy Rost in Côte de Nuit, France, in the heart of Burgundy. Bon appétit!